Hey everybody, welcome to the Weird World Podcast.
Hi.
Christmas special 2020.
Yeah, hey.
Even though we're probably uploading this
Well,
late
after.
Christmas night, if not the day after. Boxing Day special.
Don't do it on Christmas.
We'll try.
It is Christmas right now.
It
It
is. It is Christmas.
That's how committed we are, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
That is commitment.
Yeah.
Our parents make us work even on Christmas.
Just wait till you're the mom. Then you'll know the true meaning of Christmas work.
Smallest violin.
My name's Carrie.
I'm Emma.
I'm Jack.
I'm Dean.
I don't know.
And Dean's gonna probably tell us some heartwarming by the cozy fire Christmas story.
Probably not. Do you know this show? Have you been here? Do you know us? Do you know me? Do you know yourself even?
We
Yeah.
some downer bitches.
Yeah, we are.
We are.
No,
but,
this
but
is
even Dateline, who all they talk about is murder and stuff.
a very special Christmas murder? Was that an
No,
episode?
they have Keith Morrison reading "'Twas the Night Before Christmas"
Oh
and how
my
the Grinch
God.
stole Christmas and stuff.
In his own inimicable style.
Yeah.
Was the night before Christmas.
Yes, in
No,
his own inimicable style.
I forgot how that word is pronounced.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a word, just it's a different word than you've heard because you don't understand words.
I'll have to look it up.
I know special words. Yes, today is a story that is Christmassy in the sense that it started on Christmas Day.
Oh,
Good enough for
Okay.
me.
Yeah.
It's
the birth of Jesus.
No, it's not that.
Oh.
That'd be a very controversial weird world.
Yeah.
wouldn't it?
Fiction edition.
It's Christmas morning in Warminster, England, in southern England in 1964.
Oh.
Our story begins.
Crazy shit
The Beatles.
goes down in England.
They were a thing, sure. Marjorie Bye, B-Y-E, was a devout resident of Warminster, so she left for morning mass, Christmas mass, at about 6 in the morning.
Wow.
Because she's crazy.
She's
Good
very
God.
devout.
Yeah, I guess I'm assuming an Anglican church. She headed out for her church. Walking through her Bell Hill neighborhood, she began to hear some strange sounds. They were kind of like crackling noises, they've been described as. She would later say they were like, quote, branches being pulled over gravel.
That's
So-
a very specific sound.
It's very, and if we're like every radio-based or kind of, public radio-based thing, we now do some sound effect of branches being pulled over
Branches, sure.
gravel. So pretend you're hearing that, but we don't do that because it's super lame.
I'm not a Foley artist.
We'll
and
try
I
it.
don't have time to go out and find some gravel and branches
Okay.
on Christmas Day.
Not seen anyone raking gravel with a branch.
Oh, wait, we have gravel in the backyard.
Oh my God.
So let me start over again.
I'm sorry. Yeah, start over.
So, not seeing anyone raking gravel with a branch, she went on to church. Apparently later, though, because the initial reports seem to sort of leave it at that, and we'll hear more about this later, but she would elaborate, Marjorie would, and she claimed to have been thrown to the ground by, quote, savage sound waves that hit her like a physical force on her way to church.
Oh.
She felt like she was, quote, pinned down by invisible fingers of sound.
Hey, I'm impressed with Marjorie.
Are you?
In 1964, who knew anything about sound waves and what they could do?
Everyone?
Plenty of people.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
By
no,
1964?
Carrie's like, we were still living in caves, right?
No,
Weren't we
it's
just
just like-
drawing aurochs and mammoths on the walls of caves at that point? No?
I don't know, but just your, lady going to church in southern
Oh my
England.
God. I don't
You're
know what
cute,
ist
Mom.
that is, but it's an ist.
No, it's not.
It also doesn't sound plausible.
No, Carrie, people knew about sound waves in 1964.
No, I'm talking about this story.
Oh, well, that to me, that is much worse than hooligans raking branches over gravel. So this became a pretty serious thing at this point. And she's just a devout lady walking to church. I mean, come on,
Yeah.
sound. Stop pinning her to the ground like invisible fingers
No,
of sound.
maybe it's like what they were doing to our people in our embassies.
You know what? It's interesting you say that because I
Cuba.
do have a note to compare to that later on.
Yeah.
So Warminster, by the way, so just setting the scene here, Warminster is a village of about 10,000 people at the time. It's about 2 hours west of London in Wiltshire County. Do you know what else is in Wiltshire County? Stonehenge.
I want to go there.
It's actually only about 50 miles west of Stonehenge across the Salisbury Plain. So right now we're queuing a
God.
Peter Gabriel song. I'm assuming you're not going to leave me hanging. You're going to actually put that over my voice right now, Carrie.
Please
Yes.
leave him hanging.
Well, Warminster did have a local newspaper, the Warminster Journal, and a reporter named Arthur Shuttlewood, he heard about Marjorie's adventurous sound, and he wrote a piece about it just a few days later. But Christmas was a busy time for stories, so it actually didn't get published until a few days into January 1965. And even then, it was kind of a back page piece, a little filler piece about this woman who got attacked by sound in the wooded church back on Christmas morning 10 days ago. Remember that, guys?
Attacked by sound.
It's a local journal. But that was enough to apparently start a fire because the story ignited memories of similar experiences from Warminsterians. I don't know if that's how you say it, but
Probably not.
throughout, I mean, just it started flooding into the paper and started writing the journal and saying, oh my God, I had a similar experience, or at least a similar, hearing similar sounds. Mildred Head, Warminsterian, she said, I was awoken about 1:25 a.m. Christmas morning, and she heard sounds that sounded like her ceiling had, quote, come alive with strange sounds lashing at the roof.
What the fuck?
She compared it to a little bit like twigs brushing along the roof tiles. So kind of quiet at first, but she didn't, she wasn't used to that sound. She didn't have trees on her roof, so she didn't understand what was happening. But they grew louder gradually until they just sounded like almost like hailstones crashing into her roof. So she went outside to see if it was hailing. It's not hailing. There's nothing falling from the sky at all, as a matter of fact. And then when she's out there, though, she heard what at first was kind of a soft humming sound, but that too grew louder and louder. This humming noise, I guess, grew louder and louder, but then it started to fade, and it wound up fading into kind of a faint whisper, quote unquote.
Weird.
That's creepy as shit.
Yeah, on Christmas morn, early in the morning. Was it Santa? Maybe. But if you don't believe in Santa, you're a little freaked out. She's a grown-ass woman, so I'm assuming she did not.
Yeah.
Well, you never know.
She might have. She didn't say anything about Santa. Here's some people who probably don't believe in Santa. Army soldiers. At least, maybe they do. But some soldiers at Knook Camp. It's Knook. I'm assuming it's pronounced like that.
Canook.
It might be just Nook. I don't know. There's an army base nearby. It's on the other side of town. We're awakened by something that sounded like a, quote, huge chimney stack from the main block, ripped from the rooftop, and then scattered across the whole camp.
What?
So something was ripped from their roof, and then they hear this sound of the material being strewn about, smacking the ground.
Heavy if they think it sounds
Yeah.
like bricks.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
But it's just sound. There's no physical evidence whatsoever of anything happening.
Yeah.
It's just some weird sound. Roger Rump. We're
Great
so
name.
mature.
Rump.
And his porn name would be?
Roger Rump.
Roger Rump.
Yeah.
His wife heard something like a soldier's... Wait, hold on.
What?
I
Like a
have,
soldier's boot?
I have a classic Dave Anthony typo where I said a soldier's noise at about 6:30 that Christmas morning. I know it wasn't that. I don't know what it was.
Soldier's noise.
Oh, I'm sorry. Roger Rump.
When they say hoo-ah.
I have it. No, he heard something similar to the soldiers heard. This loud
Oh.
sound. I should
Wait,
probably...
who's Roger Rump again?
Roger Rump's just a dude.
Oh, okay.
He and his wife woke up to about 6:30 in the morning on Christmas morning,
Yeah.
1964, and they heard a sound similar to what the soldiers described.
Gotcha.
To them, it sounded like, quote, the 5,000 tiles on our roof being ripped off and then put back on again with an enormous clatter.
What the hell?
What?
So, rip, bop, 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 bop. I'm going to go ahead with my Foley. So I am a Foley artist. Thank you.
Nice.
Thanks.
Not rip, bop, bop, bop.
Bup, bup, bup,
Yeah.
bup.
It's called onomatopoeia because I assume it sounds exactly like that. So the sounds continued into the new year, into 1965. In March of 1965, for instance, 3 families heard loud noises that shook their roofs and also their windows shook and rattled. So that actually appears to have had some kind of a vague physical manifestation as well. But it was the noise that really shook them. On August 17th, 1965, a sound described as a, quote, detonation noise.
What?
Yeah.
What?
I don't even know what that sounds like.
Detonation?
Detonation, like a, I guess, bomb going off, I
I thought
guess.
you said Death Nation.
No,
What's
that's a speed metal
detonation
band,
noise?
Gary.
That's my
Wow.
favorite band.
Obviously Sweden, so just don't badmouth them. But it shook homes in the Boreham Field area of Warminster, and followed by, quote, a monstrous orange flame in the sky, crackling and hissing.
Oh, crackles.
Crackle, crackle, crackle. More Foley artistry there, by the way.
Good job.
Thank you. Most of the sounds were centered on the Cradle Hill and Clay Hill areas, which are on the southwestern edge of the city. Today, by the way, there is something called the Heaven's Gate Car Park, about a mile and a half away south of Clay Hill. And it doesn't mean anything, but that can't be good.
I'd steer clear of that
I would
car
very
park.
much so. If you don't know what we're referring to, look it
Google it.
Why are you listening to this podcast?
up. you should have known because we've addressed it we had an episode about
Did
the
we
Heaven's Gate
though?
cults. Yes, we absolutely.
No, we didn't.
They went to Marie Callender's. So Arthur Shuttlewood was the writer of the original article. Remember him?
Yes.
Sure.
He started compiling these stories that were by this time flooding in. And in all, about 30 people made initial reports from 1965 about things that had happened to them. Again, some back on Christmas Day, but also moving into the year, into 1965, in and around Warminster, all kinds of incidents involving these weird sounds.
Was Arthur skeptical?
At first, he claims he was extremely skeptical. He was a hard-headed journalist. He was a veteran journalist. He was 45 or so at this time, 44.
Proves it.
No, but he was just a normal local journalist. He wasn't any kind of a, he didn't write any stories or books about supernatural stuff or anything like that at all. He was just a local guy. So for now, we'll see.
Oh.
The folks reporting these incidents mainly claim to hear similar raking or crackling sounds, much like Marjorie had heard back on Christmas morning, 1964. So that was the kind of the dominant noise. These detonations and things like that were
Later,
aberrations.
yeah.
Well, not later,
Oh.
but they're uncommon. Most people said, I just heard crackling, tiles, something on the roof, things like that, those kinds of noises.
Yeah.
The phenomenon eventually became to be called the Warminster Thing.
Very
How
creative.
descriptive.
Because that's the best anyone can come up with at the time, I guess. But literally, it's just like, oh, what's this thing going on? They talk about it with each other and stuff. Oh, this thing. And became to call the Warminster
Did you
Thing.
hear about the thing?
Yeah.
I'm surprised they didn't call it the Warminster Whoosy What's It Boozy Toozy or something.
That was the first. That's
You
the first
know,
cut. But
them
they
British.
shortened it. Yeah, the Warminster Thing. It's still it's a fairly big deal locally. Everybody knows. You talk about the Warminster Thing, and they know exactly what you're talking about. Then in June of 1965, the Warminsterians, I'm going to change their name every time because I don't know what they are.
That's the same one you said the first
Is it really?
time.
The Warminsterarians, they began to see lights in the sky.
Not the lights.
That's right. The UFOs have arrived. Bright lights.
Yes.
What?
They've arrived.
She likes UFOs.
Yeah.
You're a
She's
big fan.
happy.
She's a
I
big
like
fan of
aliens,
UFOs.
yeah.
So here we go. So they saw bright lights. They saw strange shapes in the sky. The Warminsterers eventually began to see these things almost daily. Almost every day there's a new, I saw something in the sky too. So it became quite the hotbed of UFO activity. The things in the sky, though, they came with very different descriptions, interestingly enough.
Red flag.
It's a massive red flag. It always is. But they range from things like just lights or shapes or blurs. Some were supposedly that classic disc-shaped UFO that was kind of the norm for the time. This is the early mid-60s. In case you don't know, UFOs were very much a thing by now. People don't realize there were UFO stories all the time in the 50s and the 60s. They weren't. I mean, they were laughed at and kind of snickered at, and they were kind of considered just, oh, here's the nonsense going on. But they're very common. They'd already developed a real kind of mythos and a lore to UFOs, and they were normally disc-shaped. But lots of UFOs were already what other shape? Anybody know? Anyone?
Cigar shaped.
Cigar-shaped. That was very common as well. And indeed, here in Warminster, some folks describe cigar-shaped UFOs as well.
No Tic Tac shaped?
No Tic Tac shape. No, not yet. That was
No tit shape.
yeah.
I honestly thought so. Yes,
That's what I thought as well.
there were tit-shaped UFOs in the sky.
Titty shapes.
Some,
know.
pardon? Yeah, you don't never know. That was over France. I don't know why.
The south of France.
South of France. I still don't know why. Some reported another classic UFO trope. Their cars stalling out while they were viewing a UFO in the sky.
For some reason, it sucks all the energy out of
Yep,
everything.
it does, especially cars.
Yep.
So you have to sit there and either be transported up, or you have to sit there and watch it, or whatever, or your memory is erased, what have you.
Yep.
So animals, which, as we know from supernatural tropes, are more sensitive. They started acting crazy as well, particularly dogs around this time. So the animals were acting up. dogs mainly. Cars were stalling. People were seeing UFOs. All of this happening after they started hearing weird sounds. So it's kind of morphed, hasn't it? But still, the sounds continue as well. But they, too, began to be described with variation. Sometimes they were described as booms, sometimes droning, sometimes kind of whizzing sounds. And this was in addition to continuing to hear these crackling sounds or these raking sounds like they began. So they've morphed as well, or at least they've varied now. One source that I read cites these sound incidents going back to the early 1930s, claims that, Warmisters have been hearing these things since the 1930s. Nobody else mentioned that, and it has no documentation for that. And as we know from listening in the past, that these supposed older cases, when something becomes a thing, generically, not this thing, but generically a thing, you almost always see older cases crop up and suddenly people, I did that back 20 years ago. And those are just immensely suspect. It's like with Bigfoot. Bigfoot became a thing in the late 1950s. You started having some stories, I did that in the 20s and the 30s.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's nothing like a new phenomenon for some people to begin to remember local lore that may or may not have existed before the new thing became a thing. And this is exactly what is happening
It's
there.
a lot of things in that.
It's a lot of things, but just rewind that and listen. It'll make sense. Still, this thing, capital T,
Yes.
the Warminster thing, was pretty big. 8,000 tourists invaded the city during the August Bank holiday of 1965.
Wow.
So it became quite the little event there.
Wow.
It spread nationally as a story. All the other English papers started to pick it up, like the Daily Mirror, and then it spread internationally and as far away as newspapers in California.
All the way over here.
All the way. Shuttlewood, Arthur Shuttlewood, would write relentlessly. It took over his career. Increasingly, he started writing about the UFO aspects. And again, as I said, he styled himself this kind of hard-headed journalist, but he very quickly became a true believer. And then we'll hear a couple of anecdotes later on, but he became very much the true believer who believed everything and anything he heard about it. And he spent the rest of his life advocating for Warminster as kind of this UFO hotbed, and he wrote lots of books and articles on the Warminster phenomena, and he tended to focus on the UFO aspects. He hyped the stories, and he knowingly exaggerated and even admittedly exaggerated. Hence, that's why I think, remember Marjorie By, her first story is, it's raking sounds in my towel. Then I'm pinned to the ground with savage sound. I'm pretty sure that's a Shuttlewood embellishment, that last part. Gordon Faulkner, he was a factory worker in town. He claimed to have taken a picture of UFO in the summer of 1965. He gave the picture to Shuttlewood in return for crediting him to it and talking about it in his article coming up with the Daily Mirror, and one of the top national tabloids, absolute piece of shit newspaper, but
Did it turn into the Daily Mail?
is the Daily Mirror.
No, it's still the
I know.
It's still a worthless tabloid, but they covered a lot of it. It was weird how England has these newspapers that are like our National Enquirer that no one really takes seriously here, but they're major national publications that normal people read.
Really?
Oh yeah. It's not just people like my mom who read the National Enquirer and say things like, I don't believe most of it, but a blue dot, if you put it in your purse and go to the casino, you might actually win shit. So she literally did that.
Cut out the blue dot.
Yeah, she did. It had been empowered by psychics, and published in the National Enquirer.
Oh, Nance.
It was embarrassing. There's nothing you can do about it. It's beyond help. So he gave the picture to Shuttlewood in return for this and gaining some notoriety for himself, and he did. And he's being interviewed, and apparently he loved the limelight, so he's
Sure.
loving these interviews and things like that. And in truth, the actual picture was just this blurry, worthless snapshot, and the Mirror didn't even publish it. The article included mention of it, but the Mirror is like, pass. Even we're not going to publish that piece of shit. So by this time, as very quickly, Shuttlewood had become this very kind of gullible, or let's be honest, he's either gullible, and he may be genuinely believing that kind of stuff, but it's also, he wrote a bunch of books and I don't know if he made a shit ton of money, but still, for a guy working for the Warminster Journal, it's a step up.
You got to do what you got to do when you live in Warminster, I guess.
Yeah.
Wow, that sounded very anti-Warminsterian, and I'm sure it's a lovely village. I'm positive it is.
Okay.
Okay. I'm supporting you, Warminster. Many of the stories got downright weird after that, though. In February 1965, Well, even weirder.
They got down right weird.
They got down like
They got down.
started dancing.
And they were right weird. In February 1965, according to a rumor, an entire flock of pigeons dropped dead out of the sky.
Oh my gosh.
I hate it when that
God.
happens.
Every one of them.
That's so scary.
But that happens.
Sure, absolutely. Especially of a Warminster with this sound shit
You
going
hear
on.
about it every now and then.
Oh my God.
Maybe, rats, mice, and other rodents were found with large unexplained puncture wounds in them.
Oh,
Ew.
goodness.
And they couldn't understand what's going on with that.
I'd be checking all the kids' backpacks.
What the hell does that mean? What is
There's some.
To see a violent child.
Yeah. Some
and they're
kid.
killing rodents? Yeah.
Yeah.
You've got a young serial killer in town, Warminster.
Exactly.
Just understand that.
Practicing.
Yeah. Damn. You took that very dark very fast.
That's how it happens.
Okay. She's just matter of fact.
She's been realistic with this. So.
Hey, that's
It
the birth of a
already
serial
was
killer. We know
Yeah.
that. So it turned out, though, that most of the strange reports, the pigeons and the mice and rats, they came from a guy named David Hulton. And he was kind of the town quack, the town weirdo. And so those things almost certainly never happen. But things that fit the narrative are almost always believed, even with people that should know better and wouldn't believe that story absent that current narrative going on, absent the feel of truth to it, or they want to believe it, which is a core strategy, as you know, for conspiracy theorists these days.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how utterly ridiculous it is. It doesn't matter how much the source lacks credibility. You put it into the narrative, people forget the source, and they believe the bullshit. Happens all the time.
Wayfair.
Yeah,
Way
that's
fair.
yeah. Or any current, especially political conspiracies right now. That's exactly how they do it. QAnon is some dipshit troll laughing his ass off, but he can say anything, and those folks will believe it.
COVID was 100% created just for the 2020 election.
Some people want to believe that, so they will, regardless of the
2020 is
source.
going to go down in history as,
The worst year.
yeah.
We hope
just
so.
like, ugh.
'Cause there's another little flurry of stories and sightings and sounds on Christmas Day 1965, including one from Shuttlewood himself, who said he saw a UFO.
Of
Of
course.
course he did.
Oh.
But the Warminster thing pretty quickly died down after that, just gradually so. By late 1966, had more or less played out. But even after that, there were little stories would crop up every now and again. Someone would try to it's like, hey, I heard some sounds on my roof. No one's interested? All right. And 2 years later, someone would do the same thing. So still, Warminster, though, remained a major UFO center for years. And then in the mid-'70s, it was hit by crop circles.
I was going
Oh.
to say a recession.
No. In fact, go to Google Maps. I was looking up Warminster, and you pull back. I can't remember what part. It's south of the city, but there's a big-ass crop circle on Google
my
Maps.
God.
Giant, it's a very ornate crop circle. It looks pretty cool. Because it's a plain, it's lots of wheat or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's great crop circle country. Shuttlewood himself, he remained hard at work promoting the story for, like I said, pretty much the rest of his life. In 1982, he was talking up this, quote, perfect picture of a dish-shaped UFO over Warminster. He was, promoting it. So a magazine editor, I can't remember the name of that magazine, who covered that kind of story.
People.
No, it was in England.
People.
But he contacted Shuttlewood and said, okay, can I see the prints? And so he said, okay, let me get them from the guy. He gave them to the editor, and the editor instantly and easily identified them as simple developing flaws. They're common little lights or flecks in the development process. He said, that's just a
Yeah.
development. And
Boom.
Shuttlewood, it turns out, had been talking up the prints before he actually saw them himself.
Ha!
That's how, when I say gullible,
Yeah.
or that's what he'd become by this point. Despite this, he still asked the editor, he said, you made some color enlargements. You don't need them or want them because they're nonsense, but can I have them? And he started shopping them around to the national media. Shuttlewood
Oh
did.
my
Yeah.
gosh.
And he shopped them to the Daily Mirror, which had covered it all those years before and still covered that kind of stuff then and still covers that kind of stuff now. And even the Daily Mirror passed, because they realized what they were. They knew what they were. And they quietly returned them, the prints, to Shuttlewood. And they just said, we're going to not talk about this.
Past and so.
There was even a UFO sighting as recently as 2017.
What the fuck?
A video taken by a resident of the Clay Hill area again, and it shows a light kind of circling around him at the area of Clay Hill. I'm guessing that he was just too far away to hear the helicopter rotor blades going off, And that there was, I mean, because, dude, not super mysterious, but to him it was. People pushed it like that on whatever, Facebook or
Yeah.
Instagram. It's like, yeah, okay, that's a helicopter. And you've maybe muted it, or it's far away, or...
You muted it.
You know, like you mute the sound so you can't hear the... And you just see a light circling around.
I love the sound effect.
I'm a natural Foley artist. So, wait, Jack looks confused.
You mute in real life? Are you talking about a helicopter?
No,
in real
the
life?
On a video.
when you put it on the video,
Oh,
you put the
in
video
a-
on Facebook, or whatever.
Oh,
Jesus
Yeah, like
Christ.
everyone.
I
plug
thought you
their
were talking about
ears.
somebody who was seeing a light circling above them in real life.
Yeah.
And be like, oh, I saw.
They do see a lot about them circling in real life.
I
It's a
thought you were talking about
helicopter.
that person muting the helicopter in real life, like they're Adam
No.
Sandler.
That's
and Click.
weird.
That's what
That's not
I was
where
like,
most people would go normally.
you said it
Okay,
weird,
that's scary.
bitch.
So we have theories.
It's all true.
Secret military missions is one of the dominant theories. People think what's going on with
dominant
this stuff?
theory?
It's one of the common theories. Actually,
they
there aren't
do
many people
those?
theorizing. So most of these theories, I just thought about. Okay, well, what are some theories for this? So theories about what happened. One of the top ones is one of the ones that I think should be obvious is secret military missions. So again, most of the sounds were centered though on Cradle Hill and Clay Hill, and as you remember, those are on the southwest side of Warminster. The Canuck Army Base
Yeah.
is over east of Warminster. So it just seems like if they're doing some crazy shit related to the Army base, the other part of the town entirely would be most impacted by it, not the part opposite completely where the Army base is. So that's odd.
Well, maybe they're not going right over the base.
That's true.
Because they want to be secret.
That's true.
Yeah.
Some people also talk about Stonehenge. That has something to do with Stonehenge. But again, Stonehenge is on the other
Yeah.
side, so why
Yeah.
wouldn't it affect eastern
And
Warminster?
15 miles away.
And 50 miles away. Yeah, it's just because it's not too far away.
Or how many kilometers is that?
I don't know. I should have looked that up, and I feel bad about that
You
for
should feel bad about that.
our non-American
Yeah,
listeners
that's
and our non-Myanmar listeners. Who else does?
American Samoa.
American Samoa. Our American Samoa listeners understand Miles, but so the Army base also was an Army base, not a Royal Air Force base, right? So if they're doing any, we wouldn't think they'd be doing something in the sky above, which
Right.
is what, especially for the UFOs.
I was going to say that, but I thought maybe I'd look dumb.
No, you look very smart if you had said that. Now you just claim you're going to say it just to look smart.
Well, if I say, of course, the Army has helicopters too.
The U.S. Army is not allowed to have fixed wing, but they have helicopters. Yes, you're right.
Yeah. See?
I don't know
That's
about that in England, though. I don't know if that's
They
their
do
rule,
everything
too.
different in England.
Probably so. How about some kind of like freakish wind or weather pattern?
Yeah.
Anything?
But
Anyone?
always? I mean, coming
No.
back again and again and again?
Never
Well-
again. Only in 60. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
And then,
yeah.
it only late 64, Christmas Day 64, and then for the next several months at least, it was happening, and then kind of petered out.
Well, but probably not, because people would know if the tiles really came off their roof or if their chimney really broke apart and landed all around the ground.
But they have elves over there.
Yeah.
And the elves really quickly
Fair.
said,
Let's clean this stuff up before they see it. This is
Let's rebuild their chimney real quick.
hurry, loudly. It would explain the sounds potentially, possibly, but you're right. You think there'd be physical damage to that
Yeah.
Yes.
something physical made those sounds, and why isn't there physical
Yes.
damage?
And
But
if
unless
it's-
it's something wind, I
If
don't
it's
know.
big enough to make that loud of sounds, there
Yeah.
would be physical evidence.
But maybe a lot of them were just sort of like it's branches going over my tile. That's not. That's,
Okay.
you can make the case that the really loud, violent things were embellishments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People start. We'll talk about that in a second. But certainly there is the potential for that to happen in these kinds of situations. Our signaling carrier
I was
not to get ahead of
silently
herself.
reprimanded everybody. Keep my goddamn mouth shut.
I wanted to in order. So how about just something else to do with sound specifically, like
infrasound?
in Cuba,
Yeah.
Oh, that thing.
Havana,
Yeah.
as episode where we talked about the Havana sound machine, where we had people were some kind of weird sonic
Weapon.
phenomenon, possibly a weapon. Most people don't think it was.
No, I
Most people think it was.
yeah, Google
Oh,
it. There's
really?
new updates.
Oh, I did not know that. I
Yeah.
have not kept up to date.
Google it.
They don't know for sure, from whence it came, but
Well, fairly
they're
easy.
pretty sure. Yeah.
Huh, that's
I
interesting.
think.
Maybe the Army was doing sound experiments. That's I guess, possible, or maybe it was a
Yeah.
natural kind of weird sound phenomenon.
Because they were just learning about sound.
Yeah, just brand new. Sound waves. What is this? What is sound?
And
Let's
how,
experiment.
How they might weaponize them.
Yeah,
Right.
sure. You think that. You think the early mid-60s was when they were starting to learn about sound weapons, Gary. You're just going to assume that because of this story, aren't
About
you?
weaponizing them, yeah.
You think it was,
No.
you know for a fact it was the early mid-60s that started.
Doubt it.
That it started, Gary.
When?
I don't know when, but you have no idea also.
1600s?
I honestly wouldn't be surprised if there were like some unintentional acoustic weaponry back in the day.
Just like bang a big old gong.
Maybe.
Right next to their head.
Well, there already was. It's called country music. Oh, shit. You smell toast, Hank Williams Sr.?
Saving that one up, haven't you?
No, actually. So something like that. There's potentially some kind of sound phenomena, I guess. Some kind
I
of
could see
sonic,
that.
whether intentional or not. You know, whether man-made or just
Yeah.
natural. And of course, there's aliens. There's
Of
all these
course.
UFOs,
Yep.
right?
It's always aliens.
But the UFO angle did glom on, but it glommed on pretty quickly in this point. But, you know, it was nothing but sound for a while. And then the UFOs suddenly started popping up. I don't know. That's just, to me, again, it's like weird stuff begets weird stuff.
Yeah.
Supernatural stuff begets
I think
other
that's in the
supernatural
Bible.
things. Yeah. And so I don't know. But hey, let's put it out there. It could be UFOs and aliens. They could be, maybe they're just hiding and lurking. They have their camouflage up and they're making these crazy sounds. And then their cloaking device malfunctioned and they started to be seen.
Yeah.
What?
Mom just saying that's in the Bible.
She's what?
What?
Yeah, what?
That's in the Bible.
Oh, I didn't hear you say that.
Weird
also
stuff
yawned.
begets weird stuff.
Oh, it is in the Bible.
Not very biblical.
It's not quite the same thing, but okay. All right, Gary. How about mass hysteria? Ever thought that one, Carrie? You obviously didn't think that. That's what
No,
Carrie.
mass what? What?
Yeah.
I've never
Uh-huh.
heard
Hysteria? So the incited incident was the newspaper story about Marjorie Bye, and even though it doesn't matter if it's a back page, because I've read that like, oh, it was just a small item, so it couldn't be that. Well, of course it can. Obviously, just a few people start to talk about it.
Yeah.
It starts, and it's a small town, so yeah, they read the back page of their little Warminster journal.
Yeah, there's 7 pages. It's
Exactly.
pretty easy to get there.
Exactly. And they start talking about it, and then suddenly people start remembering, quote unquote.
Yeah.
They had some kind of similar thing happen to them on Christmas also. I mean, it's a classic pattern of mass hysteria. And then you start to have, you know, embellishing and exaggerations and flat out just people wanting to jump on it and get on the bandwagon or get their 15 seconds of fame, and they just make stuff up.
Yeah.
It happens in almost all these cases. And the UFO sightings, by the way, that to me, that's reminiscent a little bit of the Mothman incident, which would happen just a couple years later in West Virginia in the USA, where the unusual weirdness, in that case, of people, you know, these drunken teens are out in the forest and they scare themselves by seeing something that looks like a man with wings fly over them, and then shortly thereafter, UFOs are sighted. Here you have people hearing these crazy weird sounds that they can't explain. Shortly thereafter, UFOs are sighted. So, I don't know. Like I said, odd phenomena often come in clusters, and they draw other unusual phenomena to them, I think. Theory.
Sure.
So, or it's a combo. Could it be there's something?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some kind of weird sound that Marjorie couldn't understand. She didn't realize that her willow tree had grown a lot and she needed to clip it. And she heard some strange sounds that she couldn't explain. She talked about it. And then it morphed into typical mass hysteria where some people really start seeing these things because they're primed to, and some people, or start hearing these things because they're primed to, and others just make it up.
Yeah.
That's a theory. So what is your theory? Emma, go.
I think it could be a combination of maybe like military something and then mass hysteria. Like the military did do some sort of secret whatever, and then
I can see it.
And then it wasn't constant, not for all of the duration of time, but people decided, oh God, this is freaking me out, and
Yeah, that would explain why it stopped, wouldn't
Yeah.
it? Because like we better knock this off. The
people are
locals
freaking out.
are freaking out. They're
Yeah.
calling it the thing, and that's clever. So we better knock it off.
That's my theory.
Carrie?
I don't know. I don't really like the whole secret military maneuvers thing.
Yeah.
I mean, just because you don't like it doesn't mean it doesn't happen.
Yeah, B.
That's true.
That's what
I'm
she's
not
saying.
sure that it happened.
Comma
It does
bitch was
happen.
clearly implied by her sentence, by her tone.
Military testing has to happen.
You know-
and it's more likely to happen next to a rural place
does.
like Warminster.
So people, like
And
people
there's a
saw,
base.
people saw the stealth fighter years before they admitted it, and it was
Stealth bomber?
stealth bomber and stealth fighter.
Oh, I didn't know there's stealth fighter.
Sure,
Stealth
it's smaller
everything.
and doesn't have bombs. It has guns and stuff.
Wow.
Stealth everything.
And so that's true. And the Phoenix Lights, sometimes they even admit it. The Phoenix Lights, the famous Phoenix Lights UFO case, the airbase said flat out, yeah, no, we were flying shit over. That was us. It was like
I-
flares and things
so
like that.
That wasn't even a secret.
It wasn't a secret.
mean, they do
They more or
stuff.
less,
I
at
mean-
least a portion of it, they said, yeah, no, that's us. Calm
Yeah.
the fuck down,
That's
Phoenix.
what they want us to
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. And so it could be something military based,
Okay.
but you don't think so, Kara?
You changed my mind.
We've
about-
convinced her.
We've turned her after a
But
not.
did they ask them? Well, I guess if it's secret, they're not going to say.
Yes.
Oh, really? Are they really doing that much secret stuff?
I don't
Mom,
know
it's
that
the
they are.
military.
I don't know that they are. Nothing I read said anything about the military ever owning up to it and, records being released. I mean, this has been over 50 years, so
Yeah.
you would think, I don't know, maybe not. Maybe they used the hearts of people
Do
to
they
power
have-
these weapons. And
Do they have freedom of information?
they do have
equivalent
a
there?
form of a Freedom of Information Act,
I mean,
yes.
you would think by now it's unclassified, right?
One would think.
Declassified.
Unless they were
whatever call it.
torturing children to empower
Probably
these
not.
weapons of sound destruction and that. What? Jack, yours, go.
Yeah. I believe
Okay.
it is a combination of factors too.
Yeah.
Yeah, it probably never happened. Is my
Not at all. So
Ooh.
Marjorie was just imagining
Some mass
things?
hysteria.
That's history. Yeah.
The people. I think
I
it's clearly some element of mass hysteria for sure.
I agree.
Whether there's a germ of something real, and again, it's sound. Is people have hearing it. It's like some. It could be a very normal sound, but when it's in the context, this is an unusual sound. People don't interpret it properly.
Yeah.
Case in point, there's a case. It was like 70 something like that in Seattle, where somebody reported that their car was vandalized. Someone had pitted their windshield, and then some people said, "Oh my God, it happened to me too." There's vandals out here. They're pitting the windshield. Those windshields are always pitted. Go look at your windshield. There's little pits in every windshield that's been around a long time. It's very common. You're driving on the highway, trucks are spitting up gravel, things like that. It was just, but suddenly people in the context of this is unusual interpret it as being unusual, and it wasn't. So it could be something like that. So people, in other words, Marjorie said, I heard this unusual sound. Other people said, I think I heard something weird that night too. It was I don't know, it was windy winter Christmas 1964. And for a few months after, other people start hearing sounds that they can't explain, and it's the thing.
Or also, Marjorie got in the newspaper. I'm gonna tell my story, my made-up story.
Yeah. Well, yeah, no, in mass hysteria cases, there's always an element of complete bullshit. Absolutely. Not all of them are genuine in the sense
Yeah.
of, I really thought that was happening to me. A lot of them just like, I'm jumping in here.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I think.
I think it's some form of that,
Liar.
but whether there was a germ or not, I don't know. Whether there was something weird sonically or whether that happened on Christmas in 1964 to start it up, don't know.
Yeah.
That's the Warminster thing. Our very special Christmas 2020 episode.
Not quite as heartwarming as I anticipated.
No, you shouldn't have anticipated that. So that's more your fault.
Oh, okay.
No, I don't do heartwarming. Sorry.
Okay.
None of us
Well,
do.
the good news is 2020 is almost over.
That's true.
Ayo.
In fact, by the time you listen to this, it is very likely over and things are better.
Hopefully, get your
Every-
fucking vaccine.
Get the vaccine, bitches.
Okay, are they listening to this in 2022 and they're saying, what vaccine? What are you talking about? I don't remember that.
Oh, are you kidding?
Okay, never mind. Okay, that's it for us on Christmas 2020. That's it for us in 2020. Please tune in 2021.
Peace up, A-Town down.
Right.
They'll
We'll-
know.
okay.
People under the age of 30 will get it.
Shut the fuck up.
No, what's our new saying?
I don't know. What's our new saying?
I wouldn't be surprised if we never see Denise Richards again.
That's our new saying? I like that as a new saying, but I didn't know that about that. Huh. Keep calm, carry on. What? What is it?
No, what did you say? Get down?
Oh,
Right
he
up.
said get down. Oh,
I don't
get
know.
down right.
I've already forgotten.
Get
Get
down
down
right
right.
something, but it was get down.
Get down right good.
Oh, no. No.
Something like that.
No. I'm going to find it now.
We're just gonna get down.
Okay. Get
And then right up
down.
again.
It was the word right. Get down right.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
you meant to say down right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I can't.
And it was something like, this is when it gets down, when it got
Downright something.
Tell us.
Shoot.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know.
We'll
I
find
may have
it.
just
Okay.
made it
I
up.
can't take any more of this.
It's not-
Thanks
All
for
right.
listening,
Here we
everybody.
go. Many of the stories got downright weird. That's
So I was
what it
right.
was.
Weird.
Okay.
Get down. Right. Weird.
Okay. Thanks. Make it a t-shirt.
Okay.
See you guys.
Bye.